Hello and welcome to Monson Made This. My name is Michael. I know it's been a minute since I filmed the recipe video, but I am back today and I'm very excited because not only do I have a delicious nacho recipe for you, but also today's video is sponsored by RW Garcia, who makes these incredible blue and yellow corn tortilla chips. I've also got a bag of their veggie mixed bag. They're incredible. I've worked with this company a few times. They sent me product very early on in my YouTube career. I'll have a link up here to other videos that I've made with their products. They're gonna be available in your area, so if you wanna find out where to get RW Garcia chips or crackers in your area, I will have a link below to their store locator so you can go and buy them in your favorite local store. Without further ado, let's talk about the nachos I'm making. Now, I'm calling these my 24/7 nachos because they are inspired by probably my favorite nachos of all time, which are from a restaurant that is now closed here in Las Vegas called Mr. Lucky's 24/7. And it was a great place to go and get late night food after drinking all night. And I used to always order what they called their fire roasted chicken nachos, and I have not had them since going vegan. Again, now the restaurant is closed, so I have recreated what I think is a very exact version, veganized version of these 24/7 nachos. So let me clean up my area a little bit, get some things out here so I can show you how to make this. There's a few different components, and I'll go through those as I show you how to make it. For the chicken portion of these fire roasted chicken nachos, I am going to be using soy curls, which just need to be hydrated in some hot water, and I have a little bit of vegan chicken bouillon in there as well. So I'm just gonna cover these with water and then just cover the dish with the plate so they can steam. It'll take about 10 minutes. Now, soy curls are basically a dehydrated soy product. It's one of my favorite ways to get a sort of vegan chicken alternative. There's also frozen vegan chicken if you wanted to use like a Beyond or Impossible burger with like a taco seasoning and use that instead. You can use whatever your favorite protein is that you would use in sort of tacos or on nachos. I'm also gonna be adding beans to the final product, so you could just leave it as a bean nacho as well. So soy curls are gonna hydrate there for just a moment. There's also some more seasoning that'll go on there at the end. The best component of this dish that I think makes the nachos is what the restaurant called their ranchero sauce. Now, I remember first having these nachos and thinking it was a queso or cheese sauce and asking the waitress about it, and she's like, oh no, it's a ranchero sauce, which was basically a sort of a white roux thickened sauce with seasonings. So since RW Garcia chips are gluten-free, I wanted to keep this gluten-free, so I'm actually gonna be using cashews as a way to make a similar sauce, and it'll keep it gluten-free, and the cashews, once these blend up and simmer, will actually thicken up just like a roux-based sauce. So there's cashews, water, and a little bit of vegan chicken bouillon. You could use whatever your favorite vegan bouillon is, or veggie broth instead of water. And I'm just going to blend this until the cashews are completely obliterated and there are no more little bits remaining. Hopefully. There we go. Okay. So our sauce base is completely blended here, just waiting for these soy curls to finish. So I'm gonna meet you back at the stove here and we'll do the final preparation to make both the sauce and the chicken portion of our fire roasted chicken 24/7 nachos. My soy curls are completely hydrated. Again, you could use whatever your favorite vegan protein is for this. Now I'm gonna season these up a little bit more because right now they just have like a chicken broth flavor. I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil. You could use whatever oil you'd like, or if you'd like to keep it oil-free, you could. It's just gonna help the tahini seasoning stick on, and this is just kind of a chili lime seasoning. So I have a grill pan here, which is heating up on medium-high heat as I toss these. It's actually a recent thrift store acquisition I'm very excited about. You could use a cast iron pan, non-stick pan. The point is that with soy curls, you really want to give them a little bit of color. You need to, once you've hydrated them, you definitely want to brown them up a bit. It just helps with the texture, helps with the flavor. Without that, they're just kind of, for lack of a better term, sponges. But grilling them up a little bit really just helps with the texture. Now, we blended up the cashew and water with a little bit of vegan chicken bouillon. That is going to go into another pan here. It looks just sort of like a milk at this point, which I guess it's technically cashew milk. And like I said, as this heats up, it's going to thicken. I've done a few different recipes with this. I've used the same process to make like a sausage gravy for biscuits and gravy, so it's a great way to make a gluten-free gravy. To this, I'm going to be adding some nutritional yeast and chili powder. And a secret ingredient is going to be a tablespoon of just some store-bought enchilada sauce. If you didn't want to open up a whole jar of enchilada sauce for a tablespoon of it for this, you could use whatever your favorite like taco sauce is. That would work as well. And since I had cut up a jalapeno earlier for the pico, which is going to go on top, I just decided in the moment to add some fresh jalapeno to this as well. It'll just add a little bit more spice and flavor to this. So the soy curls are going to cook, get a little bit of grill. This is going to come up to a simmer. I'm going to stir it pretty consistently so that it doesn't stick. It will thicken once it comes to a simmer. And then once the soy curls are done, once this sauce is done, we'll be ready to start assembling our nachos. So this is thickened up nicely. You might want to let it simmer a little bit longer if it doesn't seem to be thickening, but it will eventually thicken. Just want to taste it for seasoning here. Perfect. You may need a little bit more salt depending on the bouillon that you use or the broth that you use. I think it tastes delicious. My soy curls look incredible as well. I think I'm going to turn those off. As you can see, they've got some nice color. The texture has changed a little bit, some nice grill marks, some falling between the cracks of the stove. So I've turned this off. I've turned the cashew sauce off. And now we're going to go back to the island here, and I'm going to show you the rest of the toppings that are going to go on these delicious nachos. So my sauce has thickened back there. It's just sitting on the stove, staying warm. I have my soy curls right here. I have the rest of the ingredients I need for my nachos. I have some beans that I've already cooked. These are just pinto beans. Black beans would be great as well. I have some homemade pico here ready to go. I also have an avocado. This is going to be turned to some guacamole. I have sour cream, which is just a vegan sour cream, a vegan Mexican cheese blend, and of course, our yellow and blue mixed bag tortilla chips from RW Garcia. So let's go ahead and make this guacamole really quick, really simple, just gonna be the avocado and the pico, and then we'll start assembling the nachos on this heat-proof or oven-safe tray here because it's gonna go into the broiler, which is gonna help melt the cheese, get things nice and bubbly. Then we'll top it with the sour cream, the guac. It's gonna be so good. So let's make guacamole. I officially have all of my components ready to go, and layering of this is very important. So again, my original experience at Mr. Lucky's having these nachos, the cool thing is that the base of the tray or the base of the plate that the nachos came on was covered in this sauce. So we're gonna start out with the base of the sauce. We're gonna top it with chips, a layer of everything, minus these that are gonna go on after it's cooked. Another layer of chips, another layer of everything, including some more sauce. Then it's gonna go into the broiler for just a couple of minutes, get nice and melty and bubbly and even slightly more crispy, and then we'll add the cool components. So my broiler is preheated. This is going in there. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I am not gonna walk away. I'm gonna watch as the cheese melts. Again, it's okay if the chips get like a little bit of brownness to them, but we definitely just wanna melt the cheese, get things slightly bubbly. So in this goes. It's only taken about 4 or 5 minutes because this is incredibly hot metal. I have 2 hot pads and I'm putting it here on this little wooden tray to serve it up. Now we are not finished yet. We still have a couple more toppings to put on, which I think these might actually make it. So vegan sour cream piled right on top. If you don't have vegan sour cream, you could use an unsweetened vegan yogurt, plain vegan yogurt. Of course, the guacamole that we made, pile that on top. They're nachos, they're supposed to be messy. The pico, just gonna add a little bit, just to add a bit of color around the sides. And the last thing, just for full authenticity, to make it match the nachos that I miss, a whole jalapeno stuck on to the top. And there you have it, my 24/7 nachos made with delicious RW Garcia tortilla chips.
What's the point of this?
I don't know. It's garnish. Every time I ever had it, and when I was looking it up, because, well, the restaurant's closed now, looking at like ancient Yelp pictures, it all had this giant whole jalapeno stuck on the top. So that's why I have it.
But you don't eat it.
I mean, you could. It's for pretty. Are you criticizing my plating? Come on, this looks amazing. Look at these nachos. Are you kidding me? Out of everything you see here, this gorgeousness, you're going to criticize this top garnish, which is sliding down the side?
You've got an avalanche of stuff on the side.
That's how you know it's done right. I am so excited to dig into these. Well, according to Ben, this is not beautiful enough for glamour shots, which means I have to dig into this one, devour this, and then make another one another time so we can get some beautiful pictures. So I'm going to dig in here, try to get a little bit of everything. The genius of this, pardon me, oh my God, it's that sauce. They called it ranchero sauce. I'll call it the same thing. This delicious thickened cashew-based sauce. It's on the bottom so that every chip has a bit of flavor. I'm not the biggest fan of vegan cheese, really. Like, I could do without it. So if you're not a fan of vegan cheese either, you could just completely leave it off. I actually use just the slightest amount just so I can get a little bit of melt here and say that I have cheese on it, but
why not use the cheese sauce?
Functionally, the cashew sauce that I made here is like a cheese sauce. It does have the nutritional yeast in it. So functionally, it's just like a cheese sauce, but I'm not calling it a cheese sauce. So you could call it a cheese sauce and you'd have your nachos. I like the idea of the two different kinds of cheese, the different textures. I love the soy curls too, by the way. I mean, come on, look at this plate of nachos. I'm just can't stay out of it. These chips also, so good. You've definitely got to go to that website below, find these chips in your area, get them because they are the best for nachos because they are just sturdy, hearty. So good. I know it's been a while. Sorry that it's been so long. I released a video previously explaining everything that's been going on, so thanks for all of your support, but I think this is a great recipe to come back on. Thank you again, RW Garcia, for supporting this channel, for sponsoring this video. I love your products. Again, check out my other videos featuring RW Garcia products. Go to the link below, find where they are in your area, get yourself some, and you have to make these 24/7 nachos. Thank you to everyone for all of your support. Love you, mean it, and I'll see you next time with a brand new recipe video. Bye.